The lights inside the massive auditorium dim slowly, as if the entire world is taking a deep breath to watch what is about to happen. The stage glows with a soft blue hue, and from behind the curtain steps a young Filipino boy, no more than 12 or 13 years old. His shoulders are small, his clothes simple, and his hands tremble slightly as he clutches the microphone. But his eyes, those eyes carry stories, struggles, and dreams far greater than anything his age should have known. He walks carefully toward the center of the stage, the shiny floor reflecting his nervous footsteps. Every echo feels louder in his ears, every heartbeat faster than the one before. He looks out into the audience, an ocean of unfamiliar faces, cameras, lights, and judges whose expressions shift from curiosity to warmth as he approaches. For a moment, he feels himself transported back home, to Manila, to the narrow alleys where children run barefoot, laughing under the dim glow of streetlights. He can smell the freshly cooked street food, hear the shouts of vendors calling out, see his mother watching him from their small window, smiling despite the weight of life on her shoulders. He remembers practicing for hours in that tiny room, singing quietly so the neighbors wouldn't complain, singing with hunger in his stomach but fire in his heart. His father working double shifts, his siblings sharing a single fan in the humid nights, their sacrifices fueling his dream to give them more than what life had given so far. The judges greet him. One of them asks gently, "What made you come all the way here?" He swallows hard, gripping the microphone tighter, and answers with a soft voice that almost breaks, "Para sa pamilya ko, for my family." The entire hall falls into a respectful silence. His words are simple, but the weight behind them is heavy enough to move even the coldest heart. A single spotlight rises above him, encircling him in a halo of shimmering light that makes him look almost angelic, fragile yet unshakably brave. The host standing backstage watches him with admiration, whispering, "Come on kid, you got this." The boy adjusts his stance, breathes deeply, and waits as the music begins to swell around him. The first notes are soft, gentle, rising like the beginning of a prayer. His chest rises and falls sharply as he prepares. In that moment, the whole world feels like it is holding its breath for him. The judges lean forward. The audience grows still. The cameras zoom in, capturing every tremble in his hands, every flicker of emotion in his face. The boy closes his eyes, just for a second, feeling his entire life leading up to this single moment. Then the track continues building, and he parts his lips, ready to begin. It feels like time has slowed. Every memory, every struggle, every night he cried quietly, every hope he whispered to himself now gathers inside him, waiting to be released. This performance is not just for entertainment. It is his chance, his opportunity, his escape. His voice, when it arrives, will not simply be a sound, it will be his heart on display, his soul reaching out to the world. And as the spotlight glows brighter and the music sharpens, the young Filipino boy stands firm, ready to show the world who he truly is. The very first note that escapes the boy's lips slices through the silence of the auditorium like a warm, golden blade of light. It is pure, unexpectedly powerful, and filled with a raw emotion that hits every person in the room with the force of a tidal wave. A collective gasp washes through the audience. A judge who had been leaning back instantly leans forward, her eyes widening. Another judge's expression softens, as if he's suddenly remembering a long-forgotten moment from his childhood. The boy may be small, but his voice is massive, rich, soaring, delicate, and heartbreaking all at once. Every rise and fall of his melody feels like a story within a story. His high notes sparkle like sunlight hitting the surface of a clear river, while his soft notes tremble with the weight of hidden pain. Each word he sings vibrates with authenticity. It is as though the hardships of his life, the dreams he carries for his family, and the courage he gathered to stand there are pouring out in waves, reaching every corner of the vast arena. A camera zooms in at just the right moment, capturing tears forming in the eyes of audience members. A woman near the front seats covers her mouth with her hands, overwhelmed. A man in the middle row nods slowly as if the voice touches a place inside him he had long ignored. The boy closes his eyes again, letting his voice guide him. He no longer sees the judges, the lights, or the thousands of people staring at him. In his mind, he sees only the small window of his home in Manila where his mother used to watch him practice. He sees his siblings gathered around him, whispering prayers for him the night before he traveled. He feels the humid air of his hometown, the sound of rain against their tin roof, the echoes of laughter from neighborhood children playing in the streets. Every memory feeds the emotion in his voice. Every breath he takes on that stage is a testament to the sacrifices made for him to be here. The judges exchange looks of disbelief. One of them whispers to the judge next to her, "This kid is unbelievable. They have heard thousands of singers from around the world, yet this performance is different. It's not just talent. It's heart. It's authenticity. It's the ability to make the entire world stop and listen. And that is rare, precious, even." The audience begins to rise slowly, starting with a few people in the back, then spreading like a wave of admiration throughout the hall. They are clapping, crying, cheering softly through their tears. As the song reaches its emotional climax, the boy's voice soars into a powerful high note that hangs in the air like a shooting star. The entire auditorium vibrates with the energy of that single note. Even the judges look stunned. And when the final soft note falls gently into silence, the room erupts into thunderous applause. People stand, stomp, clap, and shout his name. A few scream, "Bravo!" A judge wipes tears quickly, hoping the camera won't catch it. But it does. The boy opens his eyes slowly, breath trembling. His chest rises and falls quickly. He looks overwhelmed, shocked, and almost frightened by the amount of love pouring toward him from thousands of people. But deep inside, he knows, something magical has happened. He has touched their hearts. The applause thunders through the auditorium like a storm, rolling across the room in massive waves. The boy stands on the stage, eyes wet, lips trembling, his small hands still clutching the microphone as if holding onto it for strength. Gold lights flash around him, bouncing off the shimmering backdrop as he tries to process what he has just accomplished. He had dreamed of moments like this, but nothing could have prepared him for the overwhelming reality of it. The judges stand one by one, their applause genuine and heartfelt. The host backstage wipes his eyes discreetly, moved by the boy's sincerity. One of the judges steps forward, her hands still clapping but her expression shifting into something deeper, something emotional. She leans slightly over her desk, gazing at the boy as if she's looking at a miracle. She says, "I don't know how someone so young can sing with a soul so old." The audience cheers. Another judge adds, "This is one of the most inspiring performances we have ever seen, and I mean ever." The boy's lips tremble, and he lowers his gaze, unable to stop the tears. Then, something shifts in the atmosphere. The music softens. The lights adjust. A hush falls over the crowd as one judge stands slowly, deliberately. The audience knows what this usually means, and a ripple of excitement spreads instantly. The judge steps away from the table, walking toward the shining button at the center of the judges' panel. That golden button, the dream of every contestant, the key to the live shows, the symbol of ultimate recognition. The crowd roars as soon as they realize what's happening. People stand on their toes. Someone screams, "Do it!" Another shouts, "He deserves it!" The boy hears the noise but feels frozen in time, his heartbeat pounding in his ears. The judge places a hand gently on the golden buzzer, looks directly at the boy, and says in a trembling voice, "Young man, you didn't just perform. You gave all of us a gift tonight. This moment will stay with us forever." Then, without hesitation, the judge slams their hand onto the golden buzzer. A burst of golden light explodes across the stage. Confetti shoots upward in dazzling fountains, swirling through the air like a storm of tiny golden stars. The boy gasps, stumbling back as the glittering rain begins to fall over him. The audience loses control, screaming, clapping, cheering with every ounce of their energy. The host rushes onto the stage, grabbing the boy in a tight embrace as he cries uncontrollably into his hands. The music swells powerfully, filling the entire hall with triumphant energy. Cameras swing across the crowd, capturing people crying, laughing, jumping in joy. The judges stand proudly, applauding him with pure admiration. The golden confetti lands on the boy's shoulders, his hair, his face, sparkling like blessings from the sky. He tries to speak, but no words come out. His breath shakes violently, overwhelmed by emotion. Finally, he looks up, tears streaming down his cheeks, and whispers through trembling lips, "Maraming salamat po, thank you so much." His voice breaks completely, but it doesn't matter. Every person in the room feels his gratitude. Every person feels his journey. Every person feels his victory. At that moment, he is no longer just a boy from Manila. He is a star the world has just discovered.